What is up and what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm SoCal Shaolin. Today we have a very special video. It's the first convention I've attended in about a year and a half. The last one was San Diego Comic Fest, and that was back in January of 2020. So it's been a long time. This one I'm attending today is called Retropalooza Houston. It's put on by Jay of the Game Chasers. If you don't know the Game Chasers, they're a YouTube channel. They go hunting for retro video games, toys, and anything pop culture related. That's basically the same thing I do. So this is the first time I've ever been to one of their conventions I've been wanting to go to for a long time. So hopefully we get lucky and we find some good deals, some good toys, or anything collectible that we can take back home to California. And if you're new to the channel, that's your first time here, welcome. Hit the subscribe button to keep up with future videos, and hopefully this is not the last convention I go to this year. Hopefully there's more, as everything's opening up back again. And also I'm on Instagram if you want to follow me there at SoCal Shaolin. So let's head on in. Let's see what Retropalooza is all about. All right, everyone. I got my badge in hand, ready to head on in to Retropalooza Houston. And as we enter the exhibit hall, as you can see, it's not very big. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be, because I know in the past I think they've been pretty huge by the videos I've seen. But nonetheless, I was happy because this is the first convention in a year and a half. So we'll get to some of the booths here. We got some cosplayers and other YouTubers, plenty of YouTubers here that do video games. We're here as special guests. And then lots of video games. Of course, it's a video game convention. Very few toys, as we'll see during the rest of this video. But we did get to see lots of cool video games. I used to collect them back in the day. I still have most of my collection. I got rid of a few, like the Turtles in Time and Contra 3. I still have those, but not in the box, loose. This guy here, Kenny James, I believe was the voice of Bowser in the Mario Brother video games. And here we have Billy of the Game Chasers. They're also selling their merch. 8-Bit Eric, and this is Pat the NES Punk, another San Diego native like myself. He's pretty popular on YouTube. You guys might know who he is. And here we get to like a real vendor booth, the first one. And it was a good one because it had toys and video games, a good mix of everything. Pretty cool. Where's Waldo right there? A couple of awesome clamshell VHSs, a box of Game Boy games. Some Trolls, a Marvel Legend there. My girlfriend collects these. I always think they're not cool, very hideous looking, but a lot of people love Trolls. And as you can see, there's another Troll there. They're just scattered all over this booth. Lots of NES games. It's a cool little collector's carrying case. Another Troll. Couple SNES games, some Turtle stuff here, including the Turtle Van. Not complete, but still, it's cool to have if you don't own it. You can always pick incomplete toys and then keep them as placeholders for when you get a complete one, or you can piece them together. That's also a good thing to do. And as we're walking around, not only is there video game sellers here, there's also a lot of artists selling local crafts and paintings that they have done, so it's pretty cool. And over here in the back is the gaming section. They had a whole bunch of consoles set up for free play. Here's another booth with lots of Sega Genesis games. That dual turbo wireless remote system is pretty cool. And then that renter's case. Whenever back in the days, people used to rent them from Blockbuster. That's what they give it to you in. Some cool Moonwalker VHS tapes right there.
More Sega Genesis and some Nintendo Switch games here. Love this 6-button controller for the Genesis. I have one of those, and then the nostalgic Mario Brothers lunchbox, which I hope to get one day. I just don't want to get into collecting lunchboxes because I know I probably will. I like those things. I always check them out when I see them at places. Here we got the console set up. Lots of people playing there. We got Street Fighter, some Tony Hawk. Excite Bike and Double Dragon. Very classic games for the NES. Here's a Galaga arcade system. Awesome. And then this one right here was kind of like a modded arcade. Had lots of games built in it. It'd be pretty cool to own one of these. Here's an independent video game guy. Check with his game. He's trying to promote his video game. Here we got a box of really awesome NES titles. Some of those I have, like Bad Dudes, Double Dragon, Donkey Kong. It's just a random table of things. Here you see a puzzle, Spider-Man puzzle from the 90s. Cool to see. And as we move along, lots of video games. Like I said, this is a video game convention, so I wasn't expecting to see lots of toys, but definitely more than what I saw. Here's a cool Radio Shack little handheld game from back in the days. And the prices for video games, especially the old NES and Super NES, have really shot up in price. Back when I was into, they weren't that expensive. This vendor had a whole bunch of Japanese games, Famicom, Super Famicom. Plushies, lots of plushies. And this next booth was one that I was looking through. I really had to dig deep to find some toys. As you'll see here underneath all these plushies, I finally found a few little action figures. You see a Superman in the back and a Doug as Quail Man. 90s kids might remember who he was. Doug was an awesome cartoon. Here we got some real Ghostbusters figures. A Michael Jordan in his golf suit. I didn't pick him up, although I do collect Michael Jordan things and I am a huge fan, my favorite player of all time. But I didn't pick him up. I'm more into the basketball of Michael Jordan. But here's a very awesome Nintendo 64 duffel bag. And a really beat up box, and then some vintage little plushies there, Dr. Seuss and Barney. I almost bought this Ninja Turtle bowl. I had this bowl when I was a kid. It came free in one of the cereal boxes, and I ate so much cereal out of that thing. One of these days I'll get it again. And that's the one I had too, the Raphael one. We have some books. At first I thought this Bill and Ted book was an old one, but it turns out it's just from maybe like 2 years ago. It's kind of like a Where's Waldo, but with Bill and Ted. Here we got some more random video game accessories like controllers. Splatterhouse 2, an awesome game. Awesome. Part 1, 2, and 3. It's a good trilogy to play if you're into horror video games. Some awesome Dick Tracy cards. Didn't look like anyone had bought any packs. And a box full of Game Gear games. I remember when my little brother got the Game Gear for Christmas decades ago. He was so happy. He loved that thing. More Super NES titles. A couple of GameCube games. Rob, the deluxe set. Pretty neat. And then a really beat up Transformers lunch tray. As we come across here, more Super NES titles. I was not in the market for video games, but it was cool to check them out. Now this Cubert board game, sealed. I almost picked it up. I didn't ask how much it was. There was no price on it. There was no way to take it on the airplane. As that's the thing, when you travel, there's no room in your luggage to buy things. And I have bought extra luggage before for items I have bought on trips. It's nuts. Yeah, I know, but hey, you just never know when you go out traveling and do some toy hunting and shopping. You never know what you're gonna pick up, and when you need extra room, extra space for your things. This guy was selling some repro cards of very hard to find games, so it's pretty cool. I think he was selling for like 40, 50, and 60. A lot of them, especially the ones that had sequels, were all in the game, in the same cartridge, so it was more than one title. This guy was even unloading his pinball machines. I'm pretty sure his wife wanted that one out of the house. But he just has a whole bunch of games from different consoles there. Here we even see some DVDs that he was selling. He also had a box of VHS movies for sale. A couple of WWF Bendems, Doink That Clown, Ahmed Johnson, and the Total Package Lex Luger. That's pretty cool to see that. Don Morocco LGN figure there. And a Michael Jackson Thriller costume if you're in need of one. They had it at this booth. Just a lot of random things in this one. Some board games, a few action figures. This Ninja Turtle figure was pretty cool. It's the Donatello wrestling one, but I did not pick him up. It's not hard finding these vintage turtles at conventions or toy shops, so I'll come across them again. Here's a couple of girl toys like My Little Pony, and that Baywatch Jeep there is pretty cool to see. Here's another lunchbox. As you can see, I love these things. This was the Return of the Jedi, one of the plastic ones. And a Felix the Cat plushie. They look pretty cool. And then to the left of this was a bin full of Nintendo Power magazines, which I do have a pretty good collection. I think I have about like 30 of them, including the first issue. I do have the first Nintendo Power issue. So one of these days, if you guys are interested, I'll show you my Nintendo Power collection. One of the few booths I saw that had TurboGrafx 16 games. I think I saw one other one. Here's a couple of box games. That's Silver Surfer. One was awesome, and then some of new Transformer retro looking figures and boxes. Devastator there looks amazing. And then this booth right here was the booth that had the most toys, the best toys, all toys in this whole convention. As you can see here, they got a creepy crawlers in the box, Independence Day alien, little Voltron. Everything here was also in great condition. These Alvin and the Chipmunks toys were awesome. That buggy there with the chipettes, cool, and a couple of clothes to deck your chipmunks with. And that soap dispenser was also pretty neat to see. And then the Dixie cups. I mean, look, the packaging is just awesome. Like the artwork, it's really, really cool. Monster Force, that Frankenstein's monster was pretty cool. Creepy collars on card. A couple of Marvel Legends. A Baloo from Jungle Book. It's a neat plushie. A couple of Beast Wars there. NECA, Shredder, and Splinter. I have that one already. This was a really awesome Nintendo Super Mario Brothers puzzle. There he has a couple of Castle Grayskulls. And yes, like that new Skeletor there, you can't find them at Targets now, so it wouldn't make no sense buying that from a reseller here at the conventions, because he was selling it for higher than retail. Thought this Eevee from Pokemon was a vintage one, but it wasn't. It was just from a few years ago. And the Wrestling Buddy Macho Man, Macho King right there. Awesome. Hope to get a couple of those WWF Wrestling Buddies in the future. A couple of Garfields, and this is something you definitely don't see every day. The Delta Force shotgun set in the package. Chuck Norris movie from the 80s. I can't believe they made a toy of that thing. It's awesome. I think he had it for a few $100. We have some sealed Pokemon boxes and a binder full of cards. I kind of flipped through it, but nothing I wanted to buy. More NECA Turtles, some of the from the cartoon series. That's the one I need, Leo and Don, but I'm not paying $120 for it. Hopefully I find it in Walmart. I'm still holding out hope that I'll come across it for retail. Got some cool Godzilla toys there from Trendmasters, I believe. Another Moonwalker. We saw a couple of Moonwalkers in this convention. Here's something that was really awesome and got me itching to pick up, but for these prices, it's crazy. These Tiger handheld video games, had a whole bunch of these growing up. And this box, I was going through this box, a lot of Alien toys from the 90s. There was also some more of the Monster Force figures in here, mint on card. This Frodo was also pretty cool to see. And then I did find a Bucky O'Hare action figure here, one of the Toads. I was gonna buy this, but the owner of the booth was not there, and there was no price on it, so I had to leave it. I didn't want to go back. This one right here, the Toad Air Marshal. I'll come across them again, I'm sure. Here's just a bin of Pokemon toys from the 90s. Like I said, not much toys at this convention, but it was cool to be back at conventions again. Hope to hit up more later this year. One final look at the exhibit hall before we take off. So here's a cool banner for the Retropalooza Houston, signed by a lot of the special guests and they're encouraging attendees to sign, and you know, your boy had to sign it. SoCal Shaolin. Got it to the rest of the names up here. Pretty cool.
All right, everyone, I am out of Retropalooza, Houston. It was cool being back at a convention again. Like I said, it's been so long, a year and a half. It was a small convention, but even though it was small, it was still fun. One thing I didn't miss about going to conventions was the nerd funk. That's right, it was present. I mean, once you know that smell, you can never get out of your senses, you know. It wasn't as bad because it was a small convention, but it was there. I might be guilty of it myself, especially during like the San Diego Comic-Con weekend. But anyways, it was small, mostly video games. I only picked up 2 things, which were these action figures here. Got Egon here, and then Peter Venkman from the real Ghostbusters. These are the ones that, you know, the head pops up and stuff. They do things. See right there. I mean, they're not complete. They're just Lucy, but I got them for $4 total, which wasn't bad. You know, can't beat that. Just felt like I had to get something at the first convention back. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's mostly for video game collectors. That's what it was at all the booths mainly. But it was cool seeing some stuff. I don't collect video games anymore. I do still have my collection. I'm not getting rid of it, even though I have sold a few games here and there. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of Retropalooza, and let me know if you guys went to it, if you're in the Houston area. Also, please leave a like if you liked the video, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the subscribe button. Help our brother out, you know, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. And once I do, I'm gonna do another contest, another giveaway. So stay tuned for that. And also follow me on Instagram at SoCal Shaolin. That's how you know when I have videos coming up. You can see what I'm doing, you know, get a preview of what's coming up next on the YouTube channel. But thanks again for watching, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm SoCal Shaolin. I am out.